Well, you'll be happy to know that Officer Bar Brady got together with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, and they're back together. That trio of miscreants. And they got a three-way match coming up here that was next after this interview, where Roderick Strong was going to wrestle Jay White, was going to wrestle Swerve Strickland, and the winner of the three-way gets into next week's Casino Gauntlet match to determine the winner of that will get a world title match the following week on TV. I believe I covered that correctly, didn't I?
Yes, the Casino Gauntlet is back.
Just what we needed. And I swear to God, again, it's a three-way match. Make of it what you will, with confusing stipulations of the guy goes into the Casino Gauntlet. And last time Roddy was in a Casino Gauntlet match, Brian, he didn't even get in it because it ended before he got in it, which is another thing that's wrong with their fucking match. But finally, Swerve is on the floor, and from the crowd, Ricochet runs up to the rail behind him wearing a suit and stabs him in the head with golden scissors. Wasn't that a Beatles song? Golden scissors in your head.
It was golden slumbers, and it wasn't in your head.
Well, I was slumbering by this point because it was so boring, but he stabbed him in the head with the golden scissors and then was standing there at the rail, literally 1 foot away from the people in the front row, and the fans were standing next to him just staring at him. And one guy's got his phone up just lackadaisically. Oh, they're next to me. He's stabbing people in the head with scissors, and they don't care.
Where's security?
Obviously, the security in Asheville's gone downhill. Where's Doug Dillinger when you need him? And I told Stace, I pointed, I backed it up. I said, look at this. I've been in that building a bunch of times, and I guarantee you, if I had come up on the fan side of the railing and grabbed Ricky Morton and stabbed him in the head with scissors, I wouldn't have got out of there alive after the next 15 seconds. They would have been on me like duck on a June bug, like ugly on an ape, like white on rice, like bad booking in AEW. And then Jay White hit Roderick Strong with his finish, 1, 2, 3, and left. And then you see that Swerve got juice, and Ricochet is still standing there, now goes after Swerve with the scissors. And there's Prince Nana. And he goes up to Ricochet, and Ricochet stood him off by pointing the scissors at him. So Nana just stood there and watched Ricochet stab Swerve and punch him. And remember, I've told you, just because the the manager is not supposed to be able to beat up a wrestler doesn't mean when it's a babyface manager, he should not try to in some way help his friend. But he stands there through all that. He's stabbing him in the head with scissors. Then when Ricochet goes and gets a chair, that's when Nana springs into action. And he grabs the chair away from, or tries to, from Ricochet. So Ricochet shoves Nana into the stairs and takes the chair and hits him with it. And then takes the chair in the ring and unfolds it and sits next to Swerve and headbutts him so he can get his blood on his suit. And then puts Swerve in the chair. And Swerve is sitting there like an imbecile while Ricochet backed all the way up across the ring and ran and clotheslined him while he was looking at him coming. And then Roddy and Cole and Kyle O'Reilly get in the ring, and Ricochet bails out. And the fans were standing there silent, immobile, faintly smiling. What are they doing?
I don't know. I get the idea of wanting to do hot angles where baby faces get brutalized. We also saw Tommy Rich bleed all over the place for years. But the fans weren't really reacting. The babyface that made the save, kind of recent babyfaces that the fans haven't taken to in the Undisputed Kingdom.
That do nothing but get the shit kicked out of them.
And yeah, security does nothing. He stabs the guy. How many times have we seen Swerve down and out now? See, that's the thing. Like I said, I see doing that with a babyface and the value in it. I don't think it's working here.
Swerve is not the traditional babyface since he's the home invader and the baby threatener and the most dangerous man in AEW. How is the most dangerous man? Bad things will happen to you if you're close to him? Because he's always getting a shit kicked out of him and you'll catch some of it?
Yeah, the fans started reacting to him when he was a bad guy. Then they made him a babyface getting his ass kicked. They're not reacting the same way anymore.
They like Swerve's house because that's their part. That's their line. They all want to be, let's face it, the prime AEW audience is marks that want to be in the ring, like the ones that are already in the ring. And they identify with some of these marks that are already in the ring because they think if this guy can do it, I can. Anybody can. So they want their audience participation. And it's the same thing in a lot of cases with the Cody Rhodes, whoa, or the Seth Rollins, whoa, or whatever. They like the audience participation, but that's all Swerve's got now, is they want to chant Swerve's house. And otherwise, they need to call Swerve a fucking ambulance every week.
Yeah. You think he regrets throwing that toilet paper at Ricochet a couple days before this?
Well, he brought it on himself now that you think about it. If he hadn't opened his big mouth in his big bathroom and brought out all that toilet paper, then Ricochet wouldn't have had to stab him in the head with scissors.
It really hit me this week, too, coming out of the pay-per-view. They had such a long gap between the pay-per-view and Dynamite, it didn't feel like they had any momentum coming out of it to carry into Dynamite. It would be one thing if Dynamite was on Monday. But being on Wednesday and the pay-per-view Saturday, and then none of the people, MJF wasn't at Dynamite Live, Kenny wasn't there. I don't know, it felt like they didn't really, if they had any momentum coming out of that pay-per-view, they didn't capitalize on it.
Well, I think they had a lot of momentum, and all of it was slow.